Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. You know who we are by now. Well, at least the guy sitting next to me. I'm Luke Martin alongside the coach, Wes Miller. And, Coach, it's hard to believe that we are now officially halfway through the conference stretch. It seems like it just began on the road in Spartanburg not too long ago. But now that you've seen every team once, what's the gut feeling you have about your squad after going through the first stretch here of the SoCon play?
Yeah, Luke, it goes by fast, doesn't it? And you tell the guys that all the time is you got to make the most out of every day, every practice, every moment, because you're going to blink and it's going to be over. But no, I think as we look at the halfway point here, and we've had some time to reflect with the day off yesterday on Sunday, I think we're a team that it's proven that we can compete with everybody in this league. We're a team that also can lose to everybody in this league, and I think that's not discouraging at all. Every night we take the floor, we have a chance to come out on the right side, but we have to do the little things. We don't have a huge margin of error, so we have to do the little things. We have to stay together. But, man, when we do those things, we can be successful versus everybody, and I think we all know that in that locker room, and we have to do the right things every day to give ourselves the best chance when we take the floor these last 9 games in the regular season.
Well, you had a couple competitive games last week against Mercer and The Citadel. And let's begin with the Bulldogs. And you said after the game when I was listening to you on the post game for radio that I'm proud of our guys because they stuck together the whole game because we played a team that likes to make the game crazy. When you think back to the game, what did you like about your team to be able to maintain that craziness because Coach Duger does a great job defensively putting so much pressure on your guys?
Yeah. I mean, that was such a big key going into it is, what your mentality is going to be like. Because I don't care what your game plan is. Duger's his teams are gonna make you have to deal with their style of play. And you can go in with any type of game plan, but eventually you're gonna have to deal with it because they are gonna press you every single possession. They're gonna run and jump. They're gonna do some funky things, and offensively, they're going to be in attack mode all the time. And with the way they play, they're going to make some runs. I mean, that's inevitable. So I think if you get caught up in the emotions of the game, that can really get the best of you. And so that was as much of a key as anything was our mentality throughout the entire game. Our guys did as good of a job, Luke, as I could have imagined as far as just playing the next play, staying together. Certainly there's possessions that you go back and you watch, man, I wish we would have done this better or made a better play. But I thought our reaction to every possession, good, bad, or indifferent, was what we're trying to be about here, and I was really proud of the way they stuck together and got our first road win in conference.
Well, for the first time since 2008, UNCG had 3 players in a single game score 20 or more points, and the guy that led the charge was Kayel Locke with 30 points in that game. But you also said you really liked his ability on the offensive glass as well. What allowed Kayel to, one, go off for 30 points? He was able to knock down some key outside shots. But what did you like from Kayel in the game against the Bulldogs?
Well, as far as you mentioned, the first thing you said, 3 guys, 20-plus. I mean, it's a high possession game, so there's going to be more shots. And so you're going to have more shots, more possessions than a normal game, which is going to allow you to have more guys with higher numbers and that type of thing. But with Kayel, I mean, he comes out and he makes his first 3 threes. And here's a guy that's worked on his shot all summer, all spring last year, all fall, and has really shot it well throughout the year in practice. So I don't think any of us were surprised to see him do that. I think we've all been kind of going, when's the game going to be where he makes them all? Because, he's worked so hard and he's done it in practice all the time. So he makes his first 3, which probably helped him get to that 30-point mark as we talk about. But the difference between him having just a good offensive game, making shots, and the type of game that he ended up having was he just went and got it off the board, Luke. I mean, we missed some jump shots, and they're going to give you some open looks with the way they play defense, and we missed some, and Kayel didn't worry that he didn't get the catch. He just went and got it off the board and finished it. And I thought his activity, throughout the entire possession on every offensive possession was really good. And then I thought he was really good defensively too. It was one of the best games he's had as a player here, and it's not just because he had 30. It was how engaged he was and how much of a leader he was for us.
Well, we'll shift our conversation now from Charleston, South Carolina to Macon, Georgia. And when you guys went in the Hawkins Arena, you knew that it was going to be a tough task. Mercer 9-0 at home this year. What do you think ultimately led to Mercer making it 10-0 at home this year and pulling away from you guys late in that second half?
Yeah, Luke, I didn't think we played great, but give Mercer credit. Like you said, they're 9-0 at home. They're a darn good basketball team. I mean, Bob does a terrific job, and they're so disciplined, and they run their offense so well. and they make it difficult for you defensively. I think their hands were just so active against us. I mean, we talk about how many deflections that we want in a game, and I think they got to that deflection number that we talk about in the locker room every day, and we didn't get to it. I mean, I thought their hands were incredibly active. But that said, we did some nice things. I would have liked to have seen us take better shots. I think we've been a team that's really worked to get a great shot as a team throughout the year, and our offensive numbers say that we've done a nice job on that end of the floor. I thought we got a little bit quick with the trigger. And that doesn't mean that I don't want us to not take good shots or great shots early. I don't care if we shoot it early in the possession if it's a great shot, but we took some very average shots early in the shot clock instead of working to get a great one. And then defensively, I think that's where we struggled the most, and we did not do a nice job of guarding them for 40 minutes, and we didn't do a nice job of pursuing loose balls. And they do such a good job on the offensive glass, one of the best teams in the country, and they got some there early, which showed me we weren't as engaged to the ball as we would need to be successful. But you look at it, and we give up 2 threes in the last 2 possessions of the first half, and we're only down 3 at halftime or 4 at halftime. And so we were right there, and we were staying in the game, but just some mental lapses and some breakdowns, and then they made some plays, and you find yourself down double figures in the last couple minutes of the game.
What do you believe is going to be the main takeaway, or maybe what is the main takeaway that you want your club to pull from the result against Mercer over the weekend?
Well, I just think that the focus and the discipline that you have to have on the road against a top team like that, and I think that we'll go back and watch the film today and show them some of the things that we did. And I think as players, sometimes when you see it, it's one thing to be told that in the locker room or after the game, and you see it on film, you go, oh, man, I can't believe that we made that mental error. We have control over that, because as coaches, Luke, we're always talking about the things that we can control. There's so many things that are out of our control. Let's forget about those things. What are the things that we can control? And there were some errors in the Mercer game that were completely in our control that we can handle. So I think it's that. And then, number 2, with all those type of things that we're going to show them on film that we didn't do very well, we're going to show them that in certain stages of the game, you're right there. You're right there. You're in position to win the game. And we come out of the second half. Like I said, we give up 2 threes on the last 2 possessions of the first half, and we're only down 4 at halftime. We come out of the second half, and we go on a run to go up 2. We go on a run to go up 2 in the first minute and a half of the second half. I mean, we did some nice things to put ourselves in position. It goes back to your point earlier in our talk here that we can be in every single game, and we were in a game in the most hostile place to play in the Southern Conference. That's something we can build on.
Well, Coach, you mentioned the name Kayel Locke. Kayel joins the show right after this short break. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Greensboro and Winston-Salem, it would be Jason Bramblett. He attracts hundreds of buyers and creates so much demand that Jason can guarantee if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agree to, he will buy it. Partner with the agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wes Miller Show, presented by the UNCG Alumni Association. We told you he would be on the show. We know everybody's been wondering, when is the great Kayel Locke going to join us? You no longer have to wait. He joins us on the show this week. Kayel, thanks so much for taking the time for coming on the show. It's been a great week for you, but also, is it still kind of hard to believe that this is your last semester, that you're in your final semester right now here at UNCG?
Well, yeah, it's definitely a surreal type of experience, just the simple fact that, I've been here for, almost 3.5 years now, and this feels like, 30 days. It all went by so fast, and, I'm just so excited. I'm just so happy to, finish out the rest of this year with such a great group of guys, and, we've been playing so much better and better every day, and I'm just really excited for what the rest of the season holds for us.
You mentioned how you guys are getting better and better. What do you think you guys are getting better and better as each game goes along?
Well, I think, just all-around performance, I think that we've, really just been learning how to play, efficiently and execute on both sides of the ball. I think that offensively, we've been getting better with sharing the ball with each other and, moving and cutting their open spots and, finding each other for easy baskets. And I think defensively, although we have a ways to go, obviously, but, I think we've been getting better each and every day at, being able to guard teams, guard the three-point line, guard inside the arc. I think that we, made a consistent effort to try to, make that one of our key focal points in every game to make sure that, we're not allowing these teams to, have their way, I guess, offensively.
I see you guys quite a bit, but even then, I'm not around you guys every day. I'm not on every bus ride, and neither are the fans. Knowing that you're there every day, you're in every practice, how far has this team come from when you guys first took the floor against Greensboro College to now?
Oh, well, man, it's been a night and day type of a night and day type of deal. From the Greensboro College game all the way up till now, I think we've been making tremendous strides. I think that the team that we were in the beginning of the year was a complete different change than what we were. Obviously, the camaraderie and who we are to each other, off the court. I think that that's a big component, but that has never changed. We've always been a tight, close-knit group. We always treated each other like brothers, and I think that that was also a very important component because if we weren't to think of each other that way, we weren't be willing to work as hard for each other. And I think that on the court, we kind of found ourselves, or at least are getting to the point where we're finding ourselves, finding out what each person can do and what we're good at, and on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively.
You put in a lot of time this offseason from the standpoint of just getting in the weight room, getting bigger, but also leaner and stronger. And you also worked on your three-point shot, which is something Coach Miller has talked countless times on this show about. How much work did you put in the offseason? One, getting better physically, but also extending your game a little bit to where people, especially the past couple of weeks, you're shooting 7 of 12 from behind the arc the past 3 games. Is it nice to finally see that those shots are falling for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd like to think that I spent, a great amount of time on the offseason working on it. And, what helped me out a lot is that, Coach West always believed in me. He always, he knew that I put in the work. Me and him spent countless hours every morning, at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, wherever it was, every day in the offseason, getting up shots for 45 to 50 minutes and, just working on my three-point shot, working on my jump shot. And, he knew and I knew that I put in enough time for me to be able to go out there. It just was a confidence factor, because obviously, before this season, I think I made, maybe, I don't know, how 15, maybe 12, I don't know how many threes I made in 3 years all the way up until this season. Needless to say, I wasn't a three-point shooter at all, but now, I still wouldn't consider myself like, a crazy, Francis Alonso type of shooter, but I think
Come on, you can be honest. You think you're better than Fran. It's all right.
me and him, we can have a shooting contest to figure that out one day. But I think that it's just all a confidence thing, and I think I'm really starting to get my confidence as far as my outside shooting is going, and just my overall game.
Finally, Kayel, how important is it to you to close out this season the way you guys want to, knowing that come next year, you won't be here in Greensboro. You'll be out doing tons of great things out in the basketball world. How important is it for you to close this thing out and go out the way you want to?
Well, people say they dream about this moment, but I've literally dreamed, since I've stepped foot on this campus that I'll be able to, cut the nets down with those guys in the SoCon tournament. And, obviously the 3 years that I've had, we've had many great successes within the 3 years that I've been here, but that's one thing that we haven't quite gotten a chance to do. I really think that we have something special here, and all I really want to do is just to make them proud. Everything that they've done for me since I've been here, I can't say thank you enough, and I think that the biggest thank you that I could give you would to be, to win that championship. So, that's my biggest goal, and it's always been my biggest goal since I've been here. So,
well, a step towards that will be beating the Catamounts from Western Carolina on Thursday night. And Kayel, I know you're already making a lot of people proud, but thanks so much for joining the show, big guy. And can we expect a 30-point game every time you step on the floor now? Is that like the expectation level?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter to me if I score 30 or 0 points. If we get a W in that column, I'll be completely fine, and I'll come smiling the next day. So.
He's always smiling as it is, but you'd definitely be smiling after 30-plus points in a win. But, Kayel, we appreciate the time. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have a special feature story on Shorty Kuiper. We'll find out more after the short break.
Normally, we're not on the same side.
Not even close.
But there's one thing bigger than our rivalry,
And that's beating cancer.
It's the one thing we can agree on.
And together, we can win.
That's why we're teaming up with Subway restaurants.
And the American Cancer Society's Coaches vs. Cancer program.
Go into any Triad Subway
and make a donation to Coaches vs. Cancer.
any amount, with or without a purchase.
Team up with us and Subway restaurants.
And help us win against cancer.
Welcome back to the Wes Miller Show. We've seen a lot of the man we just talked to, Kayel Locke. But one man we haven't seen in a while. Now, he's been there. He's just been on the bench. It's Shorty Kuiper. We decided to get an inside look at Shorty's road to recovery. Well, that's at least what we told Shorty Kuiper that we were going to do here on the Wes Miller Show. Instead, we added one minor twist to the plot.
Hi Spartan fans, this is Shorty Kuiper, number 32 for the Spartans. If you were wondering why the Vanilla Gorilla hasn't been out there causing havoc against SoCon opponents, I've been hurt, but I want to give you a little behind the scenes look at my rehab process and how I'm working really hard to get back out there as soon as possible. This is my dad, my American dad. Come here. Mwah. Celebrity. What if it's like really busy? It's gonna be weird.
I mean, we can start with. We can just get you on the bike here. That's fine.
I'm confident I'll be back to normal soon. I hope. But yeah, you always gotta. It's a process, man. It's tough, but I'm gonna get there, no matter what, no matter how long it takes. What up, Mom? This is an introduction to the Marvin documentary, bro.
Bro, I sent you something from Marvin Monday.
Did you send me something from Marvin Monday?
Yeah, check your Snapchat, bro.
Oh, man. What we
You
got?
don't get it?
Yeah, I got it. I can't be on my phone during the...
Man, it's anything for the camera.
Anything for that.
All right, hold on.
Especially on Marvin Monday.
Stop playing, yo. I don't know if I want to see this.
Not Marvin Monday.
Hold up, yo.
Oh, I didn't. I surprised you. You gestoord.
On Mondays.
This is the first time in my life
Ever.
it would.
I always find out.
You cannot surprise it. You always know.
Okay. So how long do you know about this?
And coaches rejoin me. And Coach, now that we head into the second half of the season, it's always a challenge no matter who you play. But is there any more challenges? Is it almost easier when you go against the team? Not to say that it's easier, but when you see them the second time around, what more challenges are there knowing, hey, we just saw this bunch for the first time not too long ago?
Well, I think there's a familiarity from the players. The coaches, we watch so much film. We're pretty familiar the first time we take the floor, but I think for the players, as you're going through that scouting report the second time, there's a different level of familiarity, and obviously now it's about making some adjustments because you're not just watching tape and when watching film and clips of that team playing against other people. You're watching film and clips of that team playing against you. And so you can say with more, specific detail to your guys, this is how they guarded us in this situation, or, this is what they did offensively when we did this defensively, and you can kind of make those those moves in your game plan, and I think it helps with the guys. I think it really helps with your players. Now the other team gets the opportunity to do the exact same thing, and I think that's what makes conference play so interesting is the chess matches that go on game to game. As you move on to that second half of conference play.
Well, Thursday night's opponent, Western Carolina, you guys had a really thrilling game with them in Cullowhee, North Carolina, a game that ultimately went to overtime. When you think back to that game, what are some things that you're hoping that your guys learn from it that you can apply to the game Thursday night and hopefully change the outcome?
Well, yeah, I think our guys, made a couple runs in that game, where they did it right defensively. They made it difficult for Western to get what we would call a great shot. And then they finished the defense. And Western's the type of team that, man, you got to finish the defense. I think Larry's teams are always – we talked about pursuing loose balls. We talked about offensive rebounding in the show a little bit. Larry's teams over the years are as tough at going to get a basketball as anybody I've coached against. And so I think we did some things in that game and stretches where we made them take difficult shots, and we did a great job of what we would say finishing the defense. And then we came down and executed together to get a great shot. We had some stretches in that game. We didn't do those things. It was the exact opposite. We want to be more consistent in those positive stretches, and we're going to show our guys film of the stretches we did it right, and we're going to show them film of the stretches we didn't, and try to get them to do it right more often than not.
And finally, Coach, what's your message to the guys this week as you prepare for Western Carolina?
I'll just get better every day. We keep it really simple. We talk about we win by 20, we're going to come back in and work our butt off, Luke. If we lose by 20, we're going to come back in and work our butt off. Anything in between, we're going to come back in and work our butt off. And if we can have that mentality to improve each and every day, I think we'll like the results in the end. And so we're going to come back today and get back to work, and we're going to do it again tomorrow. We're going to do it again Wednesday, and then hopefully we do it when we come out and play against Western Carolina on Thursday.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock tip. Coach Miller will be there. The Spartans will be there. They hope to see you, the UNCG faithful, there as well. It should be a lot of fun Thursday night. Coach, appreciate the time as always, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Coach Miller. We appreciate the time he gives us each and every week, as well as Kayel Locke earlier. For everybody in Spartan Athletics, go Spartans!